right, it's Thanksgiving week. We are on our way to my sister's house for Thanksgiving, and we're looking forward to it. We've got cookies and homemade peanut brittle. And we had a week or so ago, the idiot professor from Yale talked about don't go to spend any time with family if they voted for Trump. And this weekend on my Coffee and Conversation coaching call, we had a discussion about, are you obligated to spend holidays with family and whatnot? And we had a really good discussion because it comes down to boundaries.
Yeah, it does. You're not obligated, but you don't have to completely cut people out. Like, people are thinking in extremes, honestly.
Yes, and things are very polarized right now when it shouldn't be. We had one man, he said, it's always drama, it's kind of toxic at his sister's house, who always hosts. And about 3 years ago, he just said, nope. Mm-hmm. And first year was a lot of pushback, less the year after. Now this year, he and his wife and neighbors are getting together. I used to do Friendsgiving. Yeah. But that doesn't mean he doesn't spend time with his dad last week, this week, before. There's this extreme, you said it, about being extreme.
Yep.
And the holidays aren't reason to discuss cutting people off.
Right.
Their misbehavior.
There you go.
And violating your boundaries is why you do that.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to, we're driving down to the Houston area. It's a 2-day trek. We could make it one, but it's no fun.
That's no fun.
We enjoy our time down there.
Absolutely.
My younger sister has passed, but believe me, I would not make that kind of trek to spend extended time with her because...
You didn't really get along with her, though.
No. Well, nobody did, though.
Yeah.
There's one common denominator to everything. She was a 15-minute, was about all I could take.
Yeah.
But I didn't cut her completely out of my life, but I sure wouldn't go out of my way for stuff, Whereas it's different when you have family you get along with, family you like.
Right.
But you're not obligated to spend time with them. So with Christmas coming up, we've got Hanukkah coming up, we've got Thanksgiving this week. The other thing you want to think about, and this gets overlooked, is what if you've got a family? At what point do you want your own traditions?
Yes, that's huge.
Charlie even mentioned for 20 years they went to somebody else's house and they're like, hey, we're tired of making the drive.
Right.
And as your kids get older, you should be having your own rituals, your own holiday plans, and it's really tough that first time you break it, whether you alternate, whether you go, you know what, our kids are getting older, we're not going to come up, and maybe it becomes in every so many years and it makes it more special.
Or you shift your celebration with those people to a different day.
Yes.
Or any number of things, right? But it's about doing what's best for you and your family.
Yeah, and we could argue all holidays are made up, so we're celebrating Thanksgiving on Friday due to some scheduling things. Last year we did the same thing because we have nurses in the family who work on holidays. And it isn't about the specific day, it is about getting together with family and enjoying each other's company. And at the end of the day, when you have kids and you have your own family, at a certain point, you have to lead yourself and your family and say, hey, we're not just going to do everyone goes to grandma's when you've moved 6 hours away, 8 hours away, or a plane flight away.
Honestly, I didn't even live that far away from, grandpa. And it was a 30-minute drive. And for my kids, it was still very important to kind of shift away from rushing over there every holiday.
Yeah.
So sometimes it doesn't even matter if you have moved 6 hours away. Just figure out what works for you.
Yeah, and growing up, I had it easy in that respect. My grandparents lived next door. So
Okay.
Christmas was always the same. We had Christmas at home. And then about 10 o'clock, I think it was, could have been 9:30. I'm a kid. I never paid attention to the clock. We had already opened all the presents, done all of that. Then we went to Grandma and Grandpa's for breakfast. And there was eggs, and there was bacon and ham, and Entenmann's, either donuts or cake, And it was kind of interesting, but it didn't interrupt Christmas. It flowed naturally. And if you have kids that are coming back to visit, especially if both sets of parents live in the hometown, be flexible. Don't keep score. No scorekeeping.
Yes.
Where are they staying? I've seen that, and it's a nightmare for kids when they have parents that are keeping score. You spent this many days or this many nights at so-and-so's house. We're doing things with them. There's going to always be an ebb and a flow. And when you scorekeep, you make it less likely they're going to want to spend time or even come back.
Yep.
You want them to enjoy and look forward to a trip back home when they make it. Understanding that you may not get it as frequently as you like, but that's life. They have their own families, they have their own holiday traditions. I have now, since I became single 8 years ago, I think I was doing it before, but the prime rib.
Yeah.
Doing the prime rib dinner for Christmas, and I look forward to that. I'm not going to change that. It works for people, and we never celebrated on Christmas. I don't want to mess up.
Well, when your kids have in-laws and extended family and stuff like that they're also trying to see, trying to do it all on the same day is insane.
Oh yeah, Will's engaged now. He's getting married next year, so now instead of 2 families to deal with, there's a third.
Not to one up you. But one of my sons has me and you, his, my ex-husband, okay, his bio parents, because he was adopted, and then his fiance's family, which I believe there are 2 households there too.
Okay.
So we're talking 4 or 5. Yeah. It's insane. Just give them the space to figure out what they need to do.
Yeah. And don't make the holidays miserable by demanding you've got to do this or that. When I planned the Christmas meal this time, it was like over a month ago. I'm like, does this date work for you?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get a date that did work for people.
Yeah.
And not, 1, wait to the last minute, 2, I don't need to do anything on Christmas. We kind of have our own Christmas tradition. And, if nothing else, your son knows where the best food is on the holiday. So, he can plan accordingly.
Yeah.
So, no matter which side of the visiting relatives you're on, understand that if you're an asshole, that might be why people don't want to come over.
Right.
And if you violate their boundaries all the time, and don't cut anyone out for the sake of cutting them out because of anything other than if there's constant boundary violation or disrespect, then you do not owe family or your parents anything. It's often looked at, it's the number one thing that's said before you let people abuse you, but it's family.
It's family. That is such a BS excuse.
If your parent was an alcoholic, a druggie, abusive, you owe them nothing.
Right.
Don't give them extra credence because they're family. That means nothing in those situations. And if they were a great parent growing up, well, then I think it does mean something. But it doesn't mean you disown or devalue yourself and your family over what mom and dad or grandma and grandpa are doing. It's a balancing act. And you just got to figure that out. All right, guys? Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, and don't get into family fights over the holidays. Don't drink too much either. Bye.